Hello everyone and welcome. Simon here from the Worlds of Wall Street. We have an update here on Multivac MTV. Before we go into the chart, guys, let's just run through a quick few updates here on this project. So obviously phenomenal. Go check out our intro video if you haven't watched that already. But yeah, let's just take a look at this. So finally, a couple of days ago, in the announcement of the Multivac NFT Marketplace launching, I've checked a few things out. So apparently all 5,000 of the initial NFT mystery boxes have been officially sold out on the marketplace. Absolutely phenomenal. As promised, around 7 million MTV will be burned from the sales of these boxes. So that's a good little move from them on that as well. And this is what the marketplace is. Basically, you can connect your MetaMask wallet as per usual. So if you are looking to obtain some, I've just had a look at I looked at the high to low, and I'm not quite sure what this number actually is. So here, this is the price if you want this particular one, and that's how much MTV you got to put in. And I'm not quite sure what number that is. It's definitely not a billion. So very interested to know if anyone on earth is going to pay that, albeit I think that's the monetary value, but even then I have no idea what that means. I don't know if that's a typo or a problem there, but someone thinks that is, then let me know in the comments, because I don't know myself. But there's a multitude of different options here, of course, different kind of collections you can get singular ones. There's masses and masses, like 61 pages. So I'm not sure how you go about deciding which ones you want. I guess one is your definitive price point, and two is, I guess, the rarity of them. So there's obviously quite a lot of numbered ones here still available, just showing you really the magnitude of how many have been sold today, or so in the last couple of days. Let us know in the comments below if you've bought any of these NFTs, how easy you found it, and which ones did you get. Really interested to know. But yeah, it looks like there's quite a lot left, and a multitude of different levels and rarities, etc. So I just thought I'd put that out there. That's been going on the last couple of days. Hasn't really done much to the prices, really. I think we've obviously seen a bit of a reduction. We'll go into that in a second. But yeah, very, very interesting to see this aspect of MTV taking off properly, and people clearly responding by buying a load of them. But let's look into the chart, guys, and we'll sort of reiterate what we were just talking about just a second ago. So right here, you've obviously got the previous all-time high that was sat around 0.029. So it's actually, sorry, not the overall aspect of where we probably will go fully with MTV this year. I think we will go a lot higher than where we've been recently. But we've had the retracement. I'm still sticking to my guns to try and buy some more MTV at this price, just under the 2 cent mark. Some people might not like that, but what goes up must come down, as they say. And I think in general, guys, of course, we've had this phenomenal movement from MTV for quite some time. Even going back here, which we covered in the previous video, even if we go back to, say, July, for example, down here at 1/3 of a cent. And we've been flying up here to nearly 3 cents. What was the price point we hit here? 0.029. So couldn't quite get past that 3 cent resistance level. So we've had a bit of the retracement mechanism here. And what I'm quite interested in, particularly reason why I put this particular area of a buy interest in for myself, is just kind of playing back from this data here around the 13th of April, and I quite like the sort of resistance and support sort of patterns that I've seen, probably taking around this sort of September period. So this is of great interest to me, and what I've done is I've put a top level just under the 2 cent mark to reflect what we've just shown you, and the markers along here. And I've also put one slightly lower down. I haven't gone with the fib retracement line here, because I always try and go slightly above that, but I was equally more interested in key areas of, for example, 16th, 17th is some really big markers there, and across the board, because I think generally in this area you could capture some. Now, that's not to say it'll definitely happen, and we might get some support here, as we currently have done so far in the last 2 days, around this just over 2 cent mark. Now, the next 40 hours will be quite interesting in my opinion for this. If we can get support, we could arguably push up again. There's a couple of key indicators here that are of interest to me, and I'm just going to open this up a bit so you can see it in a bit more detail. So we've got the RSI and the green line here, as you can see on the screen. We've had that reflection downwards that we just mentioned. So the RSI is currently floating around 55, right? So that's quite a bit of a limbo moment for me personally. It's pretty much bang on in the middle. And it's indicating to me like we're not quite sure what we're doing yet. So we've obviously had the histogram here showing the pale green wave downwards as well. And we clearly see that the volumes have been reducing to kind of cool off the intake of this project fully. So it's going to be, like I said, in the next couple of days, quite interesting to see what develops. And the MACD, of course, because of this big movement that we had around this area from arguably around the 15th of October to these previous high points, we had this massive gap. And if you remember in the videos back then, I was sort of saying, look, we need to be cautious of this. We've had the reflection back down here. What I'm trying to kind of figure out whether this will happen or not, but who knows? You can't ever predict the future, right? But it'd be very interesting if we bounce off these MACDs coming together, or if we do a crossover into a bit of a bearish mode. Now, a full-on bearish mode would be quite not catastrophic, but it'd be quite disappointing, and I think that's not necessarily impossible, but I think it's quite unlikely for us to go really far down, because if we do break these barriers, like I've got this buy option here, if we start breaking those barriers, we're starting to look, guys, at sort of like the lower spectrum of 1 cent, so 1.5 cents to 1 cent. And the only way I would give that validity, if you want for a better word, is these areas back here around April again. So you see these touch points around just literally at that 1 cent mark. It wasn't really until around this area here at the end of August, and towards the beginning of September, that we started getting this kind of like nice element of not necessarily price discovery, because price discovery arguably started around this sort of point here, of course, from the previous all-time high at 0.018, which is what we started attacking here on the 5th of September. So since that 5th of September, we're very much price discovery mode. What can we get to? What's the realistic price of MTV right now? Irrespective of volume taken and everything like that. But I'm talking about the belief of the project, where we know MTV is so undervalued at the moment in concept of where it will be in the future, of course. I think that's with most projects as that kind of status. But for me, it's of interest, because if we do cross over, I could see us coming down a bit further. And that's not to say the project's bad. I think that's actually quite healthy. But if we can continue this trend, I don't really see us dropping further than this kind of area. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if we do, like I said, we could start testing these particularly interesting areas where you see a lot of spike downs. So there's a lot of traction just around this sort of 1.5 cent to 1 cent mark. So I don't want to see it go down there. I want to see the projection, but what I would like to see, I would like to see it come down here selfishly, because I do want to bag a lot more MTV for sure. I was late to the party, as I've admitted even in the intro video. Cheeky Crypto brought this to my attention a few months back. I had too much in my portfolio, and it wasn't right for me at the time, and I wanted to do a bit more research to the project. It's taken me a bit of time, because obviously doing the videos and working and this, that and the other. I finally got around to thinking, wow, okay, this is actually really impressive. And I bought in. I'm not massively fussed about the price fluctuations right now. I'm just trying to accumulate in dips, and I'm looking for the future of this project, in a few years' time. If there's gains to be had this year to take advantage of, absolutely fantastic. And I'm sure we'll have a momentum in the bear or the winter markets, as they say, over the next couple of years before the next big runs come in a few years' time, to accumulate more MTV. But I think we're quite stable with this at the moment. And like I said, next 48 hours, if we can stabilize here, there's no reason why we couldn't start pushing this back up and getting a bit more confidence in here, especially through November. I mean, I do anticipate perhaps by the end of November and December, we'll be in a very much another discovery mode, in my opinion. But before we do that, we just need to find or finalize the real support and real price of MTV at its current state. So we obviously have this uptake, and it's unfortunately been resisted up here near the 3 cents. So we're now just trying to figure out right now, where is MTV's real price right now? So we'll keep monitoring this, guys. We'll do an update here on Monday. It'd be really interesting to see if we hit our target here. Let us know in the comments below if you think this could happen or not. But do you also think, where do you think MTV is going to get to at the end of the year? And also let us know where you got in with MTV. What price point did you get in? I don't need to know how many you're holding or anything like that. Please do not always put that, because that opens you up as a target or anything like that potentially. Just got to be cautious. But I just interested to know what price point you got in. That's all I need to know. All I care about is that, and also that hopefully you're making a load of money out of it, or at least will in the future for sure. That's the whole point of this space, for everyone to get some juicy gains, guys. So thanks for watching. We will wrap that up there. Let us know if you're holding MTV, and if you aren't, why not? And we will catch you in the next video in a couple of days time for MTV. Take care, guys. Bye bye.